जैसे कोई वर्क चल रहा होता है, अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन होती है कोई भी चीज़, तो वो ये करते हैं कि आपको रिप्लेसमेंट बसेस प्रोवाइड करते हैं जो कि स्टेशन के करीब ही रहते हैं, और उसके लिए आपको कोई चार्जेस, एक्स्ट्रा चार्जेस पे नहीं करने पड़ते क्योंकि वो स्टेशन प्रोवाइड कर रहा होता है। अगर आपको कभी भी जो है आप यूके आए हैं, यूके में आपको ये इशू का सामना करना पड़े, अक्सर औक़ात ऐसा होता है कि हफ्ते के लिए जो है वो बस सर्विसेज जो है वो बंद कर दी जाती हैं, कोई काम चल रहा होता है या व्हाटएवर, उन्होंने कोई अपडेट करना होता है कुछ भी, तो वो अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 1 वीक के लिए अगर क्लोज़ कर देते हैं तो वो रिप्लेसमेंट बसेस प्रोवाइड करते हैं। क्योंकि अगर आप रिप्लेसमेंट बस नहीं लेते और आपको नहीं पता चलता, बोर्ड्स वगैरह तो उन्होंने ऑब्वियसली अपडेट किए हुए होते हैं कि आपको जो है ना रिप्लेसमेंट बसेस मिलेंगी, क्योंकि अगर आप नहीं लेते हैं रिप्लेसमेंट बसेस तो उसका आपको ये फेस करना पड़ता है कि अगर आपने एक टाइम आपने बस को पे कर दिए और ट्रेन को पे कर दिए, देन आपको बस को भी पे करने पड़ते हैं, तो आपको इस तरह से आपका डेली का एक्सपेंस बढ़ जाता है। तो जब आपको रिप्लेसमेंट बसेस प्रोवाइड कर दी जाती हैं तो फिर आपको जो है वो दोबारा जो है आपको दोबारा से बसेस को पे नहीं करना पड़ता, उसी ही अमाउंट में जो कि आपने ट्रेन में आपने पे कर दिया है, दैट्स इट, आपको मज़ीद जो है पे नहीं करना पड़ता बसेस के लिए। ये जैसे इशू जो है कनाडा वाटर पे था, कैनिंग टाउन की कनाडा वाटर जो है वो स्टेशन तक जो है वो ट्रेन आई, जुबली लाइन, और आफ्टर दैट जुबली लाइन जो है वो से आपको ओवरग्राउंड लेनी थी। ओवरग्राउंड जो है वहाँ पे जब क्लोजर हो गया तो फिर उन्होंने रिप्लेसमेंट बसेस प्रोवाइड की। तो अगर आप जैसे कि आपको अगर एक स्टेशन पे £1.85 आपको जो है पे करने होते हैं आपको अपने ऑफिसर से, तो वही आपको एक टन का चार्ज पड़ेगा। आपको मज़ीद £1.65 जो आपको बस के पे करने पड़ते हैं वो नहीं करने पड़ेंगे।
They then that goes with the Crown on everything. So
सर्विस जो है वो
half the House of Commons
होते
was
हुए कनाडा वाटर
Right.
सॉरी के
so
से
eventually
आपको
one of the things that happens is that
आपकी डेस्टिनेशन पे जहाँ तक
parties
होता है वहाँ
rise
तक
to
आपको लेके
challenge
जाते
that Crown interest, and it becomes a, particularly of the Liberal Party, it becomes a kind of absolutely foundational kind of thing. So I think that actually the idea of independence is
Morning
great,
time.
but actually there are incipient power structures beneath just working politics and create parties in rather the way you're describing. And at least having parties with you openly acknowledge them and you kind of acknowledge your biases up front.
Yeah.
If people don't like it, they don't have to vote for you. So I think that also the difference between the 18th century and the 21st century is that the populace at large was much less politically aware in the 18th century than it is now. Because the populace is divided in politics, I don't think you can have local government where those trends aren't reflected. So our thing is often the option council are a bunch of dreamers, isn't it?
Exactly. It's interesting. Yeah, and clerks have a lot of power.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I didn't even know what a clerk was until I became, because it's different from Australia. So, they're sort of like a paralegal and an accountant.
Yeah.
And they sort of they give advice, but they strongly give advice. Because I think Taylor Wimpey, obviously they're in it for the money. It's about sort of building very large numbers of houses. The recent development looks like it's in a floodplain.
Oh.
So they haven't even put the foundations in, and it's a lake. So, yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, the chair of our council can't get a GP, so you can't get registered, but we don't have enough GPs or enough surgeries in the area. So, there is a real problem. That was an area that David Cameron was doing the kind of affordable housing launch for the general election.
Yeah.
That was filmed on Great Western Park.
So whereabouts in Oslo?
Okay, so midday talk.
I like the pride very much.
Oh, yes.
You kind of learn shishi and ni hao and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's not enough. And after the first time you do it, it feels you're you're making an effort. But the second or third time you go, you feel you really ought to be able to, as an adult, to say something
Yeah.
a bit more.
Yeah, sure.
So I kind of began learning Mandarin through
Oh, great.
an app.
Okay.
And I got up to about 1,000 words or so.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but the thing was I never got a chance to kind of use it in
Yeah,
conversation. So
sure.
I never had the confidence to go with it.
Sure.
But I liked it as a language, and it's the sounds it makes. And it's very nice to be able to say even the few things I can remember how to say.
Yeah.
Like, and one which I did learn, which was quite a useful thing, was which means
Wow.
I speak a tiny amount of Chinese and I don't speak it very well. But equally, if you say it fluently enough, people think, how much does he know? And they
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
they don't do that thing of talking in front of you.
Yeah, that's like
assuming-
my Russian in Moshka Gova.
Yeah. So you speak Russian, that's good.
Yeah, well, I sang in Russian because I was an opera singer, so I sang in about 7 languages. So it was sort of the trend to really pick up a little bit of everything, so it feels authentic. Yeah, and I had a good Russian friend in Sydney, and we'd